Ashlynn Shade is a 5'11 guard and is a big part of UConn's 2023-24 freshman class. She's drawn some early praise during summer from Chris Daly and AZ Fudd, who are both impressed with her. In this video, we will look at how Shade prepared herself prior to UConn, which reminds me of a particular YouTuber, and is definitely different from Ben Simmons. I think it would be fair to say she might be one of the most prepared recruits ever to come to UConn and is setting herself up to play basketball professionally one day. Before we start, if you like the content, then please consider subscribing to the channel. We talk women's basketball. As I mentioned, the early reports from AZ Fudd and Chris Daly are very positive. Let's start with Fudd, who had this to say. Ashlynn's a scorer. Today she hit a lot of shots. She's a very, very hard worker. When she was at the Steph Curry camp last year, I remember watching her play. It was pickup, and some girls, you can just tell when you watch people play, they would not fit at UConn. That kind of thing. You could see Ash in just the way she was reading the floor, her IQ. She was back cutting like I never got cut in high school. I didn't know that was a thing. And there she was, like playing at Curry's camp with the other high schoolers, making the right reads, right decisions. I was like, she's going to be a great fit for us. Chris Daly was impressed as well, giving this breakdown. Ashlynn reminds me of Shea Ralph a little bit, because of her toughness, and she wants to get after it. One, she plays very, very hard, so there's never going to be a question on how hard she goes. But two, she gets to the spot she wants to get to. That's interesting because sometimes kids don't know that area and that spot. Her pull-up is automatic and she's athletic. She can rebound. She's one of those kids that I think will almost have to calm down. You want kids to play hard. You don't want to play fast. She wants to be good so badly. She wants to help the team and do all those things. She's going to have to take a deep breath in order for her to be able to see everything and see the game. But I think tangibly, she does want a lot of little things. She rebounds, she knocks in, pull up, she listens, she says, yes, coach, yes, coach, yes, coach. Now, oftentimes with preseason praise, it's often the same. They're playing hard. They're really picking up the system and things like this. The thing from Fudd and CD that they're saying is that she knows how to get her shot, and she just sort of understands everything and is already pretty damn good, it seems like. So why is Ashlynn Shade thriving early at UConn? Well, in short, she's prepared. You've heard the saying, failure to prepare is preparing for failure. Well, that is definitely not the case with her. And a little bit of backstory here. She started playing basketball when she was 7, but surprisingly, it is not a story that she picked up the ball at age 7 and loved basketball. She actually didn't like it, and the main reason was her dad put her on an all-boys team, as that was the only team available for her to play on, and she really did not like it. However, later in elementary school, she was able to be placed on an all-girls team, and that's when she started developing her love of basketball. Now, her high school teacher and head basketball coach, Donna Buckley, said they recognized her potential immediately, saying, she was in elementary school when I first saw her play, and it was obvious, even at that age, that she was really talented. Now, going into high school, she was basically practicing 3 hours a day, saying that she would go to high school training for 2 hours and then do like a 1 hour session, usually shooting or doing some dribbling, 1 hour outside of school. The other thing is that she was way ahead of the game in terms of working on her body, as her dad, Matt, was a personal trainer, so she was able to get advice from him about training. Now, if you look on her social media, there are videos of her doing training with her dad and his group classes and things like that. And initially I saw that and was like, oh gosh, is this like a Todd Marinovich situation? But then I saw him in an interview and he seems pretty well balanced, at least in the interview I saw, where he said that he has Ashlynn focus on faith, family, friends, and fun, and that basketball was always to be the fun. He basically said he's taken a back seat and he's really more involved with getting her to different commitments and sort of the taxi driver, which all parents are basically. And then I saw an interview with her, with Ashlynn, And it's pretty damn clear that she's very driven. And she basically said, I know what I want to do. I want to be a professional basketball player one day, whether that be the WNBA or European League, whatever. I think it'd be pretty cool to play basketball professionally. And then I was like, oh yeah, she's one of those lucky people who knows exactly what they want to do from a young age. It reminds me of Mr. Beast. I know he's a YouTuber and it's totally different areas, but he knew from an early age, from the age of 13, that he wanted to be a YouTuber, and that's all he wanted to do was make great videos and dedication to his craft. And 5 years later, he's a success. And that's the thing. If you know early what you want to do, and of course with basketball or any sort of sport, you have to have talent, and clearly she does. But if you have those two things, talent and focus, which she clearly has, you will not be denied in most cases. The other fortunate thing for her, it appears, she has not had any injuries. This will be one of the rare UConn players that seems to be going to UConn healthy. Now, Shade really got on the radar after her sophomore year when she played AAU, playing on the EYBL circuit. Her AAU coach, under 17 coach Danny Rijo, has seen a number of talented players, including Jackie Young, and he was impressed, saying, she's as gifted of a scorer as I've seen. What makes her scoring ability great is she does it at all three levels. She shoots the three extremely efficiently. She has a mid-range game, and her athletic ability allows her to post up against smaller guards. It is clear that Shade takes pride in this. As she said, in today's game, it's a lot of layups and threes. Shade said, my mid-range game separates me. Not surprisingly, after her AAU success, she then led her high school team, Noblesville, to a championship her junior season. During the season, Shade averaged 20 points, 8.3 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and then was able to produce under pressure in the championship game where she led her team over Franklin and Ayanna Patterson by scoring a game-high 31 points on 13 of 22 shooting, all of which were two-pointers. Not surprisingly, the accolades flew in as well, as she was obviously a top recruit and was named the 2021-22 Gatorade Indiana Girls Basketball Player of the Year. Her next move after this, I think, sort of shows how she's a little bit different and future-focused, if you like. So instead of returning to Noblesville for her senior year, which would have been a celebration year in a lot of ways, she's probably on track to be Miss Basketball in Indiana as well. She could have continued to play in a high level of comfort with her family and her friends, winning another championship. But no, she decided to go to a prep school a couple of hours away, as she felt it would be good to live away from her family to help her prepare for college life. So, and they did this the right way. Like, she went to her teammates and let them know, and her coaches, before announcing it. So her senior year, instead of reveling in another championship potentially and being with all of her friends that she grew up with, she actually went to a prep school and again focused on learning how to live on her own. Now, it appears this worked out from a basketball and personal perspective, as on the basketball court, she averaged 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, while shooting 40% from beyond the three-point line. But as well, she feels like she's more prepared for college life, as she's had the opportunity to live away from her parents, so it's not the shell shock of when you get to UConn your freshman year. So if you put this all together, that's why I think she's probably one of the most prepared players to come to UConn, as her body is really good, as she's had a dad as a physical trainer helping her do the right things and hasn't had any injuries as well. She's pre-prepared herself by living away from home as well. Very smart. Like, she sees the loose change of the mid-range game. Nobody focuses on that. Everybody's focused on threes and getting to the basket, but she has that mid-range game just as an option, another tool in her toolkit to go to. So I think she is well set up to have success when she goes to UConn and beyond. I can't help but reflect on a previous video I did ages ago, but on Ben Simmons and how he prepared himself, and it's really 180 degrees difference if you watch these two talented individuals prepare for their future, and I think the results will be telling in the end. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Your poison's always welcome. Thanks a lot. Good night.